Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at Laphroaig Elements 1.0. Dustin, 58.6% ABV, small batch LE. This was sent to us by our friend Christine, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, take a look at that writing. You can tell that was not from a guide.
Oh, beautiful. I have 5 sisters, as you know. And you have a bunch of sisters, and there is a distinct difference between the way we write and the way that they write.
Yeah, she left a comment on one of our videos mentioning this, and we were like,
yeah, we'll try it for sure.
Absolutely, and I was already doing had a little whiskey deal going on with her, so she just threw it in with it. It's perfect.
Whiskey deals, Dustin. All right, Elements. Do we have any idea how old this is or what the cask maceration or anything is, Dustin?
You know, Mike, I decided not to jump in too deep in that because I don't know much about Elements, and the whole idea is they're kind of trying to show off different aspects. So let's just see what we get.
You know what? Like every sample we're sent,
said we go blind.
Yeah, with every sample we're sent, we're just guessing. Well, not guessing. We're giving our best guess.
Yeah,
giving our best guess.
But yeah, this is a whole series now. They've got a 1, a 2's now.
Yeah, I saw 2 out there,
and they come out in like a really nice box. Like it's a step above the 18. So
I've debated purchase when she offered it to, and you said it was on its way. I was like, okay, good. We'll see. I am
it's aggressive.
Yeah, so I'm picking up something that I really liked in one of the cartridge releases, the triple wood. I'm picking up a little bit of that pine note.
It is oaky, yeah.
Pine, oak, a little bit of sap from that tree.
Oh, that's a good note, sap, yeah.
I would like to. I'm a big walker in the forest, national parks, things of that nature. We're lucky to have a few of them here, and it just smells like sap and wood, and just you're outside. It's a little prickly oak.
It's almost like, is there a syrup that isn't maple, but just like a generic sweet syrup that's out there?
Yeah, I feel that too.
Because that's exactly what this kind of comes off. Initially, I almost got like a hint that made me think maybe sherried, but I'm guessing almost like a recharred kind of bourbon cask here. It's got some, notes.
I could see sherry. There's a sweetness to it that's a little bit more. I mean, this is Laphroaig after all. I mean, I know we're very versed in Laphroaig. On this channel, I think we've reviewed roughly 50 different Laphroaigs.
Yeah, but I do think there's something different in the way they produce this.
It comes off.
So, this kind of reminded me when I read the marketing more than a year ago now, Mike, but it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Ardbeg hype bullshit where they've been like, we fucked up fermentation, so here you go. But this one sounded a little bit more like they were actually trying to make a good whiskey by doing something different than Ardbeg's like screw-ups, but it had that kind of feel of like, we messed with the process a little bit here for you guys.
I really like the sweetness on this, Dustin. There is a vanilla candle to this that I don't know if I've ever really picked out in Laphroaig before.
There is a red fruit that's almost turning into cinnamon, but not getting to cinnamon.
I'm not getting a lot of red or spice on this right now.
It's not spice. It's like a slight redness up front, and then like as I nose it, it starts to get cinnamony, like a red hot, but it's not. It's interesting. I'm almost getting like apple cider notes without the apple, but again, a little bit of that like sweetness in the cider, like fall leaves kind of thing coming through.
There is something very fall, very Halloween style to this, something that's jumping out at me. Yeah, I mean, prickly pine. Again, it's like pine needles at the end of the season were kind of falling down. Cool wind kind of coming in.
Plum pie, is that a thing maybe? Like
maybe.
Pumpkin, it's not pumpkin pie, it's like plum pumpkin pie kind of a thing.
It's almost like something like pumpkin seeds, but not instead of salting them, like you put sugar on them.
And there's no pumpkin spice per se.
Pumpkin seeds specifically.
Yeah. Sometimes they put like spice on it.
Sure.
This is just very like raw. Man, so with the alcohol though is hitting my nose. This is not old.
Yeah, but it's really well rounded.
It is, but I mean,
it's like
the alcohol is getting tingling here.
Yeah, the Laphroaig is an aggressive whiskey, period, and this is 58% or whatever. 58.6. So yeah, I would say it's very young Laphroaig, 10 years old, 8 years old, 6 years old, something like that. But whatever they did to round off the rougher young edges with that over the top sweetness is really nice.
Yeah, I really like it, but I mean, I'm just saying, man, it is, for those of you nosing, man, it's got some alcohol in here. It's not unpleasant or like ethanol forward, but it tingles. Your nose hairs are going to notice.
The pine, the high ABV with the pine notes come off prickly.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm really enjoying this nose.
There's a doughiness to it.
A lusciousness to that sweetness.
This is the most middle of the road, sweet, savory combination in like the best way. Like nothing stands out too much. I can't wait to add water to this one, actually, Mike. I am expecting certain things to pop. Because right now nothing's popping, but it's all good. Even that little bit of nose hair tingling is like, okay, that's interesting.
Tastes like even you swallow. Initially, sweet strawberries, something red. But as soon as you swallow, smoke, tart, pine needles, a fire.
Woo-hoo!
Woo! Hot cinnamon. House on fire. Whew. A dirty red smoke, like a red wine smoke. That's prickly.
This comes off to me as super recharred bourbon casks. Red Hot's like crazy.
Red Hot's like crazy.
I tasted Red Hot's up front even. Like I was like, ooh, that's getting red hotty. And then bam. Woo! Like I got fire from the Red Hots.
It was prickly.
I'm going to go a little heavy on the water. I did get a lot of youth on the notes, on the mouth though. Like
that has to be young.
It's
that has
young.
To be under 10 years old.
I wouldn't be shocked if there's 3-year-old whiskey in here.
It is prickly.
Maybe 4. I mean, there is some youth.
In a good way, though.
But there's also some nice cask notes. You know, like the oak has definitely done a lot to this whiskey in a short period of time.
Yes, active cask. It wouldn't shock me if this was quarter cask maturation in this.
That definitely could be, yeah. Maybe that's what they did. And it wouldn't shock me if
it's right, because it's kind of getting that buttery quarter cask note to it now. Now that I'm kind of picking up on it.
It's oily.
Yeah, because there is a...
This is super oily for Laphroaig.
I agree. And the Laphroaig doesn't always come off oily. Usually that comes off with quarter cask. I've said that before. So I would say there's quarter cask maturation here, but there is some type of fortified wine cask in here. I am fairly confident. Obviously I don't know, but I think it's ex-bourbon cask, ex-quarter cask, and they got some funky wine in it for some amount of time. Or a mixture of the three, or maybe they transferred whiskeys, but something like that.
I know this time of year, man, the west coast of the U.S. and Canada are just up in flames with forest fires. I'm smelling that on this freaking whiskey.
This would start a fire.
This is the fire, man.
This is Greek fire.
There is so much like young oak thrown in with heavy alcohol.
This reminds me of like...
it's uncoiled the cinnamon demon here.
It's very cinnamon forward. This reminds me of the Octomore 14.2 and the PCM Port Charlotte.
God.
With the red notes in it. You know what I mean? But even more than those whiskeys. At first it was strawberries on the tongue, but as soon as you swallowed it was prickly, red hot.
Yeah, I don't get the fruit note at all.
I did just initially on the tongue before I swallowed. As soon as I swallowed, it was just an ambush.
It tasted like diluted red hot to me on the tongue, man. Like the only thing I'm getting here is red hot and cinnamon.
No, it showed a couple of other faces first before it absolutely shoved you off a cliff.
No, from the very start, it was like the sweetness of a red hot, and then it was the cinnamon kick was on the finish.
I let myself be deceived.
I'm sorry, Mike. I don't think there's any wine on this thing.
I don't know. I'm thinking there is.
I mean, there could be, but I think you might be right about some. Maybe they just burned a quarter cask and threw this in there. I don't know.
That might be true too.
I'm going a little more water here. I'm really going to bring this one down because, as much as some of those notes might sound negative, this is a beast of a whiskey, and I'm enjoying the experience.
The sweet note still does contain everything to some degree.
It is oily, rich, and it is very sweet with a freaking dragon underneath. My guess is this is just a recharred bourbon cask. But the color was dark enough where it could be. I don't know. Whatever the heck they did with it. I can't wait to look this one up because I know I've read it, but I don't remember at all. I'm being 100% honest here. I do not remember the magic. Also, I read the description of the 2.0, and they might be totally different. So
It's still
my brain's gone.
It's still biting with water, but I don't like it nearly as much with water.
I've gone back for a second pour of water to tease it out, and I gotta say, it's still really sweet. They really did have a nice, rich, coiled elements here.
I told him. Well, I said on the 418, not this one. I'd be shocked there wasn't some type of fortified wine component to this.
That's tannic and spicy still. Man. Starting to get a little bit of mint, but it's still, I'm getting a burn in my chest, dude. What the heck?
This is drinking.
Wow.
No doubt. All right, Dustin. Wow. Whiskey score time. She gave you the sample, so I guess that'd make it your bottle.
I guess.
All right, I'll go first. Enjoyable whiskey. I'm back and forth between two scores. I'm giving the lower two scores. I don't know the whiskey that well. 87 out of 100. There's a lot of things I liked in this whiskey. Nothing I loved. I didn't think it had any wow factors. I think it's basically pretty young whiskey with probably some type of exotic finish or cask maturation.
If you are into punchy, beefy, in-your-face whiskey, there is no more wow factor than I've ever had from Laphroaig than this.
Okay.
That said, I'm not. 86, Mike. I enjoyed this whiskey.
Yep.
I think there's actually some really nice notes. The sweetness here is intense. I like the flavors.
Wouldn't be the first whiskey I'd give of someone trying scotch.
But this is an unrefined beast. This is for your scotch aficionado who wants a punchy whiskey.
It's for lovers of Laphroaig.
Yes, this is a Laphroaig lover whiskey. If you are somebody who thinks, Laphroaig 25, it just doesn't kick me in the nuts enough. On the 10 cask strength, I'm starting to get, used to that. There you go. I was talking to Ed from Rock Gut Whiskey years ago, and he was talking about how he just didn't like the Laphroaig 25. It wasn't punchy enough. And he was like, I want Laphroaig new make. Buddy, this is Laphroaig new make with wood spice to kick you in the nuts even harder. This is for Ed, buddy. This is a rot gut review whiskey.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on this particular whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this one, let us know what you guys think. Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Happy getting punched in the face.
See you next time.